Hello my YouTube viewers, YouTube class. I hope so far you're okay with the journey. I'm Joseph Udulapati. We have been covering the 9 laws of indices. We've done good so far. We have covered 5 laws, just 4 more to go. But before I continue with today's lesson number 6, can we just have a quick review, of course, of the previous law? So far we've covered how many laws? 5 laws. The first law was the law of what? Multiplication of numbers to a similar base. Of course, the outcome was we add the indices. Second law was dividing numbers to a similar base. The outcome is you do what? Subtract the indices. Number 3, it was a law of what? Multiplication of numbers to a similar power. The outcome was what? You multiply the bases, let the product assume that similar power. Now, the fourth law was the law of division of numbers to a similar power. We said you divide the bases and let that quotient assume what? That similar power. Law number 5 was the law of raising a number in index form to another power. We said the outcome will be that base raised to what? The product of the index n and m. So we go to our, of course, 6th law. But as usual, and it has been our culture, before we discuss a new law, we discuss, of course, the question given towards the end of the previous, of course, lesson. So I gave a question number 5, which was the question of lesson 5, covering what? Law number 5. So the outcome here will be as shown below: g power n raised to power t. That will be g power raised to power n times t, which will give us g raised to power nt. 5 power 4 raised to power 2. That will be 5 raised to power 4 times 2. The outcome is 5 raised to power 8. 7 power 4 raised to power negative 3. That will be equal to 7 raised to power 4 times negative 3. The outcome is 7 raised to power negative 12. Now, number 4, 5 power 8 raised to power a quarter. That will be 5 raised to power 8 times a quarter, which will be 5 raised to power 2. 2 is the outcome of multiplying 8 and a quarter. The end, what we have, the last question, the outcome will be, of course, the question is 7 power 6 raised to power 2 over 3. That will be 7 raised to power 6 times 2 over 3. The answer will be 7 raised to power 4. How do you get that? 3 goes here twice. 2 times 2 gives you 4. So we have 7 power 4. Done with that revision. Hope you got at least 1 or 2 questions. If you didn't get, of course, just do the correction. Now we go to the coverage of our 6th law, which is called the zero index law. So how does the law says? X power 0 is equal to 1. Of course, x is any number. It can be an integer, can be a decimal, a fraction, can be a third. Any number raised to power 0 is always equal to 1. So I will give an illustration before we tackle what? The example number 6. Illustration here, we have 3 power 4 divided by 3 power 4. On one side, I will use the long division. On one side, I'm going to use what? Of course, the law of division of numbers having same bases. So here, I will argue that 3 power 4 divided by 3 power 4 is same as what? 3 power 4 over 3 power 4. Now, having the same bases and we are dividing, I should do what? Subtract the powers. So I will have 3 power 4, 3 raised to power 4 minus 4. What about here? Here I will get 81 over 81. So what will this give me? This will give me 3 power 0 and this will give me 1. So 3 power 0 is equal to 1. Now use any combination of numbers and of course apply the same procedure. The outcome will be the same. Therefore, any number raised to power 0, what do you always get? You always get 1. Now, done with that illustration, let us proceed to cover what? Example number 6. Of course, example in regard to what? Law number 6, which is the zero index law. Example number 6, evaluate the following. So what do we have? We have the solutions here. So, Roman 1, 3 power negative 2 times 3 power 2. What will I get? 3 power negative 2 plus 2. Why? We are multiplying and the base are the same. Applying your indices, your integers concept in form 1, this will give us what? A sum of 0. Any number raised to power 0 is equal to 1. Therefore, the outcome of this workout here is equal to 1. We go to Roman 2. Of course, I'm going to need more space, so allow me to clear this. Roman 1 workout. Roman 2, what do we have? We have 5 power 2 times 5 power 6, then raised to power negative a third. So first of all, I'm going to simplify that part. So what will I have? 5 power 2 times 5 power 6 times negative a third, based on the previous law, law number 5 we discussed in the previous lesson. So what will that give you? 5 power 2, which is that, times this goes here, of course 1, this goes here 2. 2 by negative 1, what do you get? You end up with 5 power negative 2. Having the same bases and we're multiplying, what do? We add the powers. Of course, now in the end we have what? 5 raised to power 2 minus 2. So the outcome will be 5 power 0, which is same as what? 1. Because we've just said anything raised to power 0 is 1. Now we go to our last example, which will test, of course, several laws. Example number 3, what do we have there? We have 3 power 2. That's number 3. 3 power 2 times 2 power 2 times 6 power negative 2. Now, I'll first of all combine this and this using what? The law of multiplication, having the same power. So what will I get? Multiplication of the bases to give me what? 6 raised to power 2. So this here will give me that. Then I bring the other part. Now I have this and this. What case do we have here? A case of multiplication, of course, of numbers to a similar base. Meaning I'm going to do what? I'm going to be forced to do what? To add the powers. In the end, what will I have? 6 power 2 minus 2. That will give me 6 power 0. The final outcome, I get 1. That marks what? The end of the coverage of law number 6, which is the zero index law. Remember, anything raised to power 0, be it a fraction like 3 power 4 to power 0, you always get what? 1. Be it a third, anything raised to power 0 is 1. Be it a decimal, of course, a decimal like 0.3 raised to power 0, you always get what? 1. Don't forget that. So you attempt the following questions, of course, in regard to this sixth law, the zero index law. What is the question? Evaluate the following. 7 power 3 times 7 power negative 3. 6 power 4 times 6 power 12 raised to power negative a third. Then we have 14 power 5 times 7 power negative 5 times 2 power, of course, negative 5. So let's meet in our next lesson, where I shall give the results to this question and then be able to cover what? Our seventh law. Remember, we are almost there. There's supposed to be how many laws to be covered? 9. So let's meet in our next lesson.